Welcome to episode 382 of In Touch with iOS, the show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, Mac, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and we got a great panel this week. Marty Jencius is joining us. How are you doing, Marty? Glad you're here.
Today I need like sharp objects that I can stick in the soft entry passageways into my brain today. I woke up first day of class, and since I coordinate the program I'm at, I get an email message that one of my faculty has resigned.
Oh, boy.
And so today was all crisis mode.
Oh, my gosh.
So my brain is pretty scrambled. Things I think are going to settle out okay, but if I've ever been gladder to be here, there wouldn't be a day I'd rather be here than today.
Yeah, so well, appreciate that. Glad you're here. Also, I'm glad it's here is Jill McKinley. How you doing, Jill? Great to see you.
I'm doing fine. I had a day too, so I'm just tired. I can't wait till this weekend, and I'm just going to stay in bed, I think. And I don't know. I'm probably not going to, but it's been a week.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of cleaning and getting organized here to get ready for my office remodel and other things. So I've been busy this week for my week off. But Chuck Joyner, thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing good, Dave. I'm not quite in Marty's shape, but I'm getting there. Give me another day and I'll be there.
Yeah. I can just see it coming soon. And last but certainly not least, Eric Bolden. How you doing, Eric? Okay, glad you're here.
It's been a fun day.
Yeah.
We're moving
Everybody's having some.
Oh yeah, we're going into a new building, and it's really exciting. Layout is really neat. Light is really cool. Everything is phenomenally good. But we want to get stuff set up, the network and everything going, because everybody moves in on Monday, and the bathrooms aren't turned on yet. The network doesn't go anywhere other than there are little notes on the wall saying network. Yeah.
Yep. Well,
exciting.
It'll be all behind you very quickly next week.
Yeah.
Yes, we got plenty to talk about this week. Lots of news. Got some breaking news coming up here in just a minute. And our usual items, In Touch with Vision Pro, beta coverage, as well as In Touch with Mac, and all kinds of other things to talk about. But yes, what I wanted to say before we get to Vision Pro, I wanted to talk about a couple of breaking news stories that came out today as we record this. Apple did release a news release this morning as we record an update on the blood oxygen for the Apple Watch in the U.S. Apple will introduce a redesigned blood oxygen feature for some Apple Watch Series 9, Series 10, and Apple Watch Ultra 2 users through an iPhone and Apple Watch software update that's coming today as we record. Users with these models will have the blood oxygen feature that will have access to a redesigned blood oxygen feature by updating their paired iPhone to iOS 18.6.1 and as well as their Apple Watch OS 11.6.1, and now will be measured for those who didn't have it. You didn't have it at all. For us that did have it, I'll talk about that in a second. But it'll now be measured and calculated using the paired iPhone, and then the results will be then in the respiratory section of the Health app. This update was enabled by a recent U.S. Customs ruling. This will be no impact to the Apple Watch units previously purchased, including the original blood oxygen feature, nor the Apple Watch units that were purchased outside the U.S. And then they go on to say Apple did tirelessly created products and services that empower their users and the usual stuff they talk about. But it's big news. And Marty, you brought it to me this morning. I had already saw it because I was really on the news this morning. What's your initial thoughts on this? My concern was the fact that I have an Apple Watch Series 9, and I'll find out when it updates on the watch. I just did the phone. Is it going to override what I have? But it just seems like that they in this news release they say it's not. But what do you think, Marty?
I think they did a remarkable workaround, and it will reintroduce the product to Apple Watch users because they never took the mechanics out of the watch. They just had to shut them down because of the lawsuit. Now they've got a workaround, which means you have to go to your phone. I heard about it first. It came up as a Reddit piece, and I was like, oh, well, let me take a look at this, and then let me send it to Dave. And I was excited about it, and I immediately tried to see if I could get it on my Series 10. And I'm running the developer beta on Series 10. So it doesn't work yet for OS 26 beta 6, I think we're on.
Right.
I went ahead and updated my phone, which I thought I already updated to beta 6, but it took another update. And I thought, well, maybe this will finally get it on my Series 10, and that didn't do it. So like I said, I think it's a brilliant workaround. Massimo, now that whole litigation issue, Apple has some strength in doing it, and people were complaining about not having the information on their watch, and they said, in 2028 this all becomes moot, because if they want to continue to use the Massimo design or the Massimo on watch stuff, that copyright on that runs out in 2028. So this might be a patch until then. That's a workaround for it. So
I see what you meant about on my 16E iPhone. Yeah, there is another update. That's crazy. I didn't even know. I didn't even think of doing that because it already came out this week. So yeah, crazy. Jill, what do you think? Did you have an Apple Watch with it before or never before?
I have the Watch 8, and then I bought the Ultra 1 that was on a deep discount last year, and that one does not have it. But I do like it. I have asthma, and as you all know, because I spoke about it, I watch my health data on my Apple stuff very closely, and I was excited to see this come back. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Chuck, did you have the Series 9, Series 10?
I've got the Series 10. I have not even looked to see if the update happened. If not, I'll be forcing it that later tonight. I'm kind of want to know what the backstory is here, all the technical details and how it has happened. I had a chance just to look over one of these articles in a very cursory fashion. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. Was there a settlement? Was there a license? Exactly how is this doing it? And the tethering to the phone, I think, is very interesting. That's where the calculations are being done. I don't know if Apple found a loophole somewhere in the restrictions. So, this is going to be one that is going to be weekend reading as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and reading the Ars Technica article we have in the show notes here, it says the feature has been redesigned presumably to get around the Massimo patents that prompted the import ban in the first place. And Apple says that the sensor data from your watch, of course, will go to the iPhone, but no specific technical ways of how they went around it. You wonder if that's going to get publicized, but I'm sure we'll hear about this because now this is out today. Will be some stories in the coming days. Eric, did you have which watch did you have, or do you have a watch?
I've got the Ultra 1, and I haven't been able to update because I wanted the sensor, and I've been going through thinking, well, maybe I can add a second watch and I could wear it during the day or whatever. But this is great news because I was really looking forward to the Ultra 3. My battery's kind of getting strained a bit, so yes, this is the perfect timing.
Very exciting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I'll report back to say I don't think it'll, because since I kept my Series 9 that had it prior to this lawsuit in 2024, I'll be curious to see where that goes. And as I said, iOS 18.6.1 is released, so that update is basically for everybody, even if you have that watch or not. That it's going to get updated. That's I wouldn't be surprised if they might have put a bug fix here and there, but mostly it was because of the watch update. So that's definitely going to be something we take a look at. So, but yeah, we wanted to hit that breaking news that, like I said, just came out this week. So let's move on to In Touch with Vision Pro. Apple did release Vision OS 26 Developer Beta 6, and it really doesn't have much of any updates that we noticed this week. I've got links to the information as well as the information from the developer's site, and they don't say much as far as any updates, just some back-end things, any of that kind of stuff. Eric, I'll start with you. Did you notice? I didn't notice anything. Did you?
Yeah, I didn't notice anything at all. The only thing I hit with it is after the update, the virtual desktop stuff, it just wouldn't connect. So I had to reboot one more time, and then everything was perfectly smooth.
Okay, great. And Marty, same thing, right? Didn't see much? You're muted.
Nothing noticeable that I could find. And when I kind of did a search analysis on the documentation, they came up with nothing but nothing of significance. That, there's not going to be any new added. Let's put it this way: Jupyter's not there yet. So
man,
Jupyter environment is still not there.
And you mention that every week. I just don't understand why isn't it? They were spouting the thing.
The environments are not my big thing, but that seems to be the benchmark for the chatter, like on Reddit. Every time a new developer beta comes out, it's like, is Jupyter there yet? So,
yeah.
Marty, does that surprise you? I mean, think about how many articles you see on the tech web about wallpapers for your iPhone.
Always those out.
Yeah, it's like, what I get it. Look, there's some that are really gorgeous, but I'm not going to spend that much time managing the wallpaper on my iPhone. It's just,
But you got to have those websites that, hey, you can download iOS 26 wallpapers right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. The next story I wanted to mention is there has been discovered code and Apple code that has confirmed that there is going to be a Vision Pro with an M5 chip. Apple, as we've been talking about, it's been a bit of a rumor that they're talking about a next generation version of the Vision Pro with the M5 chip, but it's according to code that accidentally was shared by Apple and discovered by Mac Rumors that the rumors of this this update was circulating around since last year. You had some information from Ming-Chi Kuo as well as Mark Gurman talking about this. But if they've got the code and they're actually seeing this code, they don't think they would just make this up. That there's going to be an M5 processor. So I don't think it's going to be anything of much of a difference and upgrade beyond that processor. Marty, you think it's going to make a difference with M5?
I think Mac Rumors, at least the article that you have, Mac Rumors attributes it to Gurman and Ming-Chi Kuo, where it said last year they've been saying this is going to happen. I think it was Digitimes, because this almost made a pro note. And then I read the article that first came out, and I'm like, no, they found the code. They're not, of course, the trap is the title of the article. And it's like, it's not a prediction that we're going to have a new device. It's just a prediction that somebody wrote something into a code that could be used maybe sometime in the future.
Okay. That
would include access to a potential M5 chip. And so I kind of backed off of it. And then it's amazing to see other sources like Mac Rumors pick it up and make it this is a known fact. So I think it's interesting. I personally, I'm glad that Apple is delaying or supposedly delaying all their new product or a good portion of their new product to March, because it'll allow me to replenish my bank account after I get Vision Pro 2.
Yeah, well, because the trading value isn't going to be anywhere near the new one. So,
the Vision Pro 1 might go to my son. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen to it.
That's fair. Anybody else want to add anything about this?
Just that if your son doesn't want it, you can send it over here.
You'll have one by then, Chuck.
That's one way to get him to have one, right? When the new one comes out for you, Marty. There you go.
Yeah. We've got the Go Fund Chuck already going. So.
One app I discovered this week I wanted to mention here. It's called SailGP. It's a racescape, and it's a virtual reality here, and it's definitely an interesting little app here. I was clicking the thing here. Here you go. It was released as a new mixed reality app, of course, for the Vision Pro. It's called Racescape XR. It's a a free-to-download app that was built by SailGP's proprietary Liveline technology, which lets users view curated video content, live race metrics, and augmented reality visualizations of real-time boat positioning. So that's what it's for boats, of course, with Sail. It marks the first foray of the Apple of this into the Apple Vision Pro, and which the property views as a prime platform to now showcase data-rich races. And they're saying it's a significant milestone for platform for this is a platform, and they're looking at ways and opportunities to engage it in a way that can also to redefine how the sport experience is delivered. So interesting, to say the least. I don't know if this is something I'd be super overly interested about, but I don't know if you caught this, Marty. What do you think?
Yeah, we talked about it on Vision Profiles, and I think I was the only one that actually looked at the app. I am amazed by this.
You are? Okay.
App. This is like my favorite, probably new sportsy kind of app. When you think of F1, and I know you'll be talking about that later, this, if you look at the website, or if you look at the article associated with it, you have panels that are set up on the side, and you can choose what country is in the race, and you can then switch to video that they captured from the boat, or sailboat, during the race. So it's like you can jump right into the boat when it happens. All of this is pre-recorded. All of it comes from sailboat competitions, and it's just a fascinating app to watch. I mean, you know those tabletop ones where you can watch planes land at different airports?
Yep.
This does the same thing, but with sails, and it lets you kind of jump on the boat if you want to. It is pretty amazing. And all the kind of things that I would like to see sports on the Vision Pro expand into.
Oh, for sure. But, Eric, anything you want to add on this?
Yeah, this is a really cool idea. And I hope they start doing this with really anything where they can record race data. I'm not quite sure how you would do it with bike races, but somehow I feel like that would be cool too.
Yep.
I'd say this is a Chuck-worthy app.
As he smiles.
You guys just keep trying. You keep trying.
You know, it's not too soon for you to use that phone measuring device and figure out what light shield and the glasses inserts.
Oh,
you can get that early so you're ready.
Right. Yeah.
Well, but if I wait for the next version of the iPhone, maybe you won't even need that. As I recall, there was a patent that was going to incorporate adjustable prescriptions.
Right.
So,
we'll
just
see.
saying. Just saying.
We'll see. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to beta this week. iOS 26 beta 6 was released this week for the developers. And again, I didn't notice too much as far as any differences. I think we're getting near the home stretch here because September is usually the time where we're going to be seeing new iPhones and new iPads and maybe iPads. You don't know, but we'll be ready for the new software that we've been testing all summer. I don't know, Eric. Did you see anything different on iOS 26? I didn't see much. That's what we already talked about.
Yeah, no, although I did notice there was another update that just came out and it's installing. I did notice that they're starting to roll out more of a, introduction to 26 in all of the versions. I didn't see it in Vision OS, but I'm seeing it everywhere else. So I like the polish.
Yeah. How about you, Marty? Did you see anything?
Not in particular. I really do. The thing that strikes me the most is the home screen and what you can do with photos with the home screen, because my photos just seem to pop out on that, and I set it to go through animals and other scenery that I've taken, and it will automatically rotate through those home screens, and it just makes looking at those pictures again really kind of exciting. And I want to tilt the phone to the side to see if I can see the side of my dog because he's so much out there with that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. The problem with the standard betas for me is I jump on so early with the developer betas. It's sort of like, that's new? Oh no, I guess it was new for most folks who aren't on the developer beta. So
definitely. Jill, are you running on your iPhone? I believe. Or did you see
I am.
anything?
I didn't really notice anything that terribly new and exciting, but I did notice that some of the tweaks they made to the UI and the glass, it looks a little bit better. I'm not an aesthetics person, so when I notice something aesthetically better, it's probably a lot better. So I like it.
So they also released the third version of the public beta. So just telling you it's starting to get closer because now we have the third version of the public beta people are trying that are not using developer beta is out there. iPad OS 26 is now out as far as that update as well. Again, you're not seeing too much difference. I didn't notice anything because I've been running iOS 26 beta on my iPad Pro M4, so it's been running great. Also we've got tvOS has got the beta 6 out. There hasn't been really much to say with tvOS. A lot of home discussion with the home updates. We're going to be starting to see, I think, that accelerating. And we'll see where that goes with tvOS. WatchOS is out as well. Not much there. It's WatchOS 26, and aren't really seeing too much difference there, which is not surprising. But some of the things that were caught and everything that is new in iOS 26. Specifically, some of the beta 6 changes was there was a bit of a redesign, like you said, the camera app and many other things that were redesigned. And as we talk about all the other things that really hasn't changed much. But there is another thing that they've changed here in the Wallet app, which I found to be interesting. In Apple's Wallet app, iOS 26 includes a new feature that you can store your physical card information alongside your digital payment cards. This allows you to quickly access the account numbers, expiration date, and other details without having to carry the physical card. In a simple addition in iOS 26, it brings the Wallet app closer to being a comprehensive card management tool, and it gaps third-party apps like 1Password typically fill, which the full card information is in hand, and you can check the expiration dates for like a subscription or such as well. One thing I noticed is I have a Discover card, and I went in and today, and Discover says, "Oh, you can add the card right to your Apple Wallet directly." And sure enough, what I did was I went to my Discover card. It's acting just like an Apple card. It's showing me my card balance, what my available credit is, and all the transactions that I've done for this month so far using that account. So I would see this type of trend happening with other credit card companies looking to do this because so many people are using Apple Wallet. Why not? Because if you want to use a card other than the Apple card, why not have to do that? So, Chuck, what do you think? Do you think this is something you probably use like this?
Yeah, the more things I can get into Apple Wallet, the better. Because
I agree.
It potentially means that I don't have to carry the cards, and that that just always is a good thing. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Marty or Jill or Eric, have you tried this at all?
I haven't tried it, but I like the idea of everything being in one spot for sure.
Yeah, me too.
So do these cards become usable cards for purchasing, or is this just a vault for card information?
In this case, it's the vault of just information that you can go in. In the case of Discover card, which I just did today, it actually is the card as well as all the information. And I believe I can go up into card details, and sure enough, I can. It shows the connected account and the card information. I just tap it, tells me what the physical card is, and the Apple Pay card, because the Apple Pay card is going to be a different number than the physical card. And then you can actually can go in and change the connection settings and how you want to do it. You can disconnect it. You can turn it on and off. So you've got you got some flexibility with, and this is not on iOS 26. This is I'm running this on 18.6.1.
So if I put that card in there, then I can use it in a store as a purchasing.
That hasn't changed.
Card.
Yeah, this what we were talking about is if you have the card in your wallet now, you can just add this as additional information, so you can go into because you weren't able to do that before with cards that were just an Apple Pay, but you could never find out what the rest of the account information was before.
I think that. Yeah, I mean, because I carry physical cards with me as well as the Apple Wallet.
Me too.
And if I'm going someplace and my wallet gets lost or stolen, this gives me instant access to all. So for and much more than a spending issue or a spending purpose, for me, this is kind of a security and backup purpose. So if I lose my wallet or leave a card, I can contact the card issuer right away and have that card halted or removed, whether I'm using it in my Apple Wallet or not.
Yeah. It's definitely, I'm excited about it. I was real excited about the Discover card for sure. That was probably more than what this is talking about today for iOS 26. So, but both are nice because I do use multiple cards. I'm sure many of us do. And not everybody has an Apple Card either. So you want to have, and having the same behavior what an Apple Card does is pretty cool that you're able to do that. So let me let's hit a little bit on CarPlay. There's been some kind of complaints about things about CarPlay, but this is not too bad of a complaint of a thing here. Is CarPlay in iOS 26 is going to enable quote unquote video in the car, but support may take a while. Apple is making a major U-turn with CarPlay after a decade of not allowing video playback. Starting with iOS 26, Apple will allow apps to display video through the CarPlay screen while parked. But however, it's a big question. It's a big question mark for now. This compatibility falls under the video in the car and is mentioned in Apple's developer website for CarPlay. And then it does say AirPlay video in a car enables people to watch their favorite videos from right in their CarPlay display when they aren't driving. The integrated support with CarPlay with AirPlay video is enabled this feature for your car. And people have come up with workarounds, and you get external displays, and not non devices that are connecting, not connecting to your head unit and all that stuff. I like the fact that you can be able to do that, especially if someone's in the car. Unfortunately, you can't do it for the kids because you could put a screen on the back of the seat, and that's what they do now with the DVD players and such. But if you're sitting for a while, I just don't know how beneficial of a feature this is. Are you going to be sitting in the car watching a movie and park? I mean, I don't know how exciting this is going to be. What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, I think there's probably people out there who will use this, and I don't think it's me. I just can't imagine sitting in the car doing this. But I think if someone wanted it, obviously that's why they did it. Yeah. And as long as it's safe and people aren't driving down the road watching movies, I'm okay with it. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see CarPlay advance, I guess, just in general.
It is, yeah, but I don't think it's extreme. Chuck, what do you think on this?
I'm mixed on this because part of me would like to believe very naively that people are not dumb enough to try to watch something on video while they're driving. That's obviously naive. I can definitely see this though as a use case for kids in the car or kids in the passenger seat, or more for the passenger than the driver.
Right.
How they can control that and maybe keep the visibility, keep it not visible to the driver but visible to the passenger would seem to be a very logical thing. And then with the option that if you are parked, you could watch video anywhere you wanted or from any location in the car. So I don't know. I understand some of the use cases that would make sense. I just have real concerns about that one use case, and that's the driver trying to watch something. I mean, you can just visualize some bonehead driving down the road trying to listen/watch a football game and being distracted at a critical time driving by a big play. That's easy to imagine. And so, and that if that happens, Apple's going to really take it on the chin, probably not just with a lawsuit, but also just in general perception. So I don't think they're dumb enough to do that. They have something in mind. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's questionable. Marty, you have any thoughts on this?
I'm trying to find a reason for having it, because if I'm sitting in my car waiting for my wife who goes into a store that I'm not interested in going to, I'm going to watch it on my phone. If I'm driving down the highway and I want to watch a video, I'm going to watch it on my phone while I'm driving. That's a joke. I wouldn't do that, but I don't see I see a limited use case for this.
Agree.
Unless maybe, I'm driving a truck and doing some long distance and I'm pulled over at the side for the evening to be able to watch a movie on a larger screen than my phone.
Yep.
I think it's great. I really do. I mean, for anyone who's stuck waiting for somebody and, for variable length of time, and I always carry a book, either electronic or a real book or whatever, but there are times when, it'd be nice to watch a short video or tutorials, or you're getting ready to go help somebody with sharpening the blade on their lawnmower, and you want to read that YouTube instruction video before you get out of the car and slate your fingers off. It's perfect. The speakers in my car are better than in my phone, and I don't want to put headphones on because I want to hear what's going on around me. So I'm all in on this.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to this week in touch with Mac. Beta 6 of macOS Tahoe was released to developers. It continues to move on here with updates. Of course, as we know, it's been featuring the liquid glass redesign, and not everybody's too overly excited about this. There really hasn't been much else in the changes that I noticed. I've got it running on my MacBook Air as my secondary machine. That's been working great, as well as on a Mac Mini. Marty, have you noticed anything different? I really haven't.
No, not really.
Anybody else that's running it? Have you noticed anything?
I installed it and nothing happened. So, I mean, we're getting close. It's got September. And so it's just all nudging here and there.
Yeah. And Apple's also seeded a second macOS Sequoia 15.7 as a release candidate to developers. So there is going to be one more update to Sequoia. I'm just going to assume it's going to include security fixes and bug fixes and such. So that's coming out very soon. So at least they're doing testing beforehand before it gets out. So I would venture to say probably one of the last versions that updates, unless there's security updates, which they'll obviously continue on for quite some time for Sequoia. And I found this, everybody's been talking about this week, and I wanted to just kind of see what everybody here thought about this. There's been quite the rumbling about the fact that potentially that Apple is going to come out with a MacBook production starting soon, potentially is at a $599 or $699 pricing. The background on this is it went back to last year that there was potentially going to be a new entry level MacBook that would be powered by the A18 Pro chip, which is in the Mac, which is in the iPhone Pro and Pro Max iPhone, instead of an M series processor. And this would be the first time the company would even offer something below $999. And it's always been the MacBook Air has always been the cheapest model offered by Apple in a laptop. That's $999. But again, we got Ming Chi Kuo reporting about this last year, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. And Digitimes is actually seeing that there potentially is going to be there is production to begin very soon on this model. I could see this as an amazing. I would say I could see it as being a pretty amazing device to have and get into the schools, get into companies that are looking for a budget laptop that people don't need the high power. If you're not doing any video editing, you're not. This model will definitely not be for any of us. But to see Apple to be able to generate even more interest in the MacBook would be pretty amazing, in my opinion. I think it's something that. It definitely would be a welcome for schools, for schools for sure. I mean, ask Brian F to see what he thought on this. What schools would do? Would they abandon Chromebooks? Who knows? We'd have to see. But Chuck, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about this? I know it's a rumor, but I think it's sounding pretty solid.
Okay, so it seems like we have this rumor come around at this time of year on a pretty consistent basis.
Mhm.
And if this is an education market targeted product, if it exists, then it's too late because
Yeah.
school districts have already purchased. I don't know why this rumor doesn't appear earlier in the year when you might be able to buy it a little more. That said, I just my concern over this would be just how powerful or how powered or underpowered would this kind of thing be? Because the last thing you want to do is have anyone have a subpar Mac OS experience on your product. And that's something that Apple has pretty much stuck by the whole way along, that they will not play in the lower ends, because of that. So what kind of compromises are going to have to be made on the machine or on the OS? And you know that as soon as some of those compromises are outlined, they put a 720p camera in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and people are going to have a stroke. And you're going to have a cheap microphone or maybe no microphone, and people are going to have a stroke. So and the screen won't be as nice. People are going to have a stroke. So where would you compromise on a MacBook experience and Mac OS experience when you have some really very nicely powered MacBook Pros out there? Now, not at the $500 and $600 level,
right?
But and by the way, let's not forget RAM and storage. Everyone is already complaining about you don't have enough on the big models. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Trim it down even more? This just doesn't feel like an Apple thing, which probably guarantees it'll be announced next week after I've said that.
I just don't see Apple doing it in such a way that they wouldn't at least put 16 gigs of RAM in it and maybe 512, potentially 256, but I would say probably 512. But, again, it's an entry-level Mac. And I mean, but the thing is, the Mac Mini, I have the M4 Mac Mini, the base model of that is 256, but you get 16 gigs of RAM instead of 8. So they probably would do 256 and do it very similar to what the Mac Mini is now, the Mac Mini, just the M4 model, and do it this. Jill, what do you think?
Well, I have a number of people in my life who I think would enjoy this because they don't do video processing. They're not podcasters. They don't do gaming. They go on the internet. They look at some websites. Maybe they have a checklist somewhere. And it's just sort of a laptop that they can do a little bit more with, but not much with. And I could see people doing this. But in the company I used to be in IT with, we were a web-based company. And so they just needed a browser. And so I had to go and buy them a bunch of cheap Dells to hand them out as the traveling people so that they could go and log into the web interface of our software. This would be perfect. And, people would say, well, Joe, could I get a Mac? And I would, no.
I wish.
And I think you could now. And so I don't know. I just see a number of uses for it. And I think you take away the screen. You don't need 2,000 billion nits. You don't need to watch movies on it necessarily, although it has to be decent enough where I could watch a basic movie or YouTube videos on it. And I think you'd make a ton of people happy.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Marty, Eric, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I keep slapping a keyboard on my iPad and saying, maybe next year I'll be able to do just a little more. And there are times I don't need a lot of storage space. I just need something that it's got a keyboard and I can run Mac apps on it. I'm really curious to know where those processes are being made, because maybe there's an opportunity to have it produced in a couple more countries to work around some of the tariff stuff. But colors. I'm all in just because of the colors.
Yeah, that's right. They're talking about all kinds of different colors that you don't normally get on a MacBook Air. Marty, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think the case is, have any of you spent any significant time with a Chromebook?
Yeah, it's horrible.
They're horrible.
I have one just to play with, and it's horrible.
You're looking at like a $200 bump up from a base Chromebook, and you've got a full operating system. For me, I'd get one of these things because the smaller the better. I have an old 12-inch MacBook that the last rendition, and I loved the smallness and the portability of it. And then it just stopped doing any upgrades for the operating system on it. So yeah, I would pick one of these things up and go back and forth from the office with it, or take it out, for short trips. I'm not going to do video editing on it. I wouldn't expect to. I think as a travel, I probably wouldn't take it because I'm doing video or audio editing when I'm on the road, and this wouldn't handle it. But, look at what they've done with their iPad line, sort of giving a base model that everybody can get into. That drives me nuts, essentially. But most folks would go, "Oh, this is cool." So I can see them cracking this market at that level. I think it adds problems because the other $500 or $600 computers probably have better specs on it, and people will see that more as this is what I'm going to get my kid for school. It's only $600 versus this, which has minimal use, but I think it has a great purpose.
All right. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and move on. And I was able to get the opportunity this week as we record to see the F1 movie in IMAX at the theater. They actually had a theater near me that had it. I was like, okay, I got to go do this because it's there. And so I don't think I've been to a theater, seen a movie in probably over 2 years, maybe longer, post pandemic. So it's been quite a long time, but it's actually, you know what? I was so glad I went because being in a movie theater is a great experience. And best part was when I was there was maybe 6 people in the whole theater, including me and my wife. So, but experience. I wanted to this. It was in IMAX, so I wanted to be able to experience it. Because everybody was saying some great things about it, and Apple did bring it back to the movie theaters again. So only select theaters had brought into town. So it wasn't a theater I normally go to, so it was a little further away from my home, but it wasn't too terribly far enough that I wanted to see it. So my experience was pretty amazing. I mean, the sound was incredible. I mean, if I remember correctly, Chuck, you haven't seen it yet, right? And did you see it, Jill?
No, it's near my house, but I have not.
Okay, so Marty and Eric, you saw it, right?
Not yet.
So really, it's only me and Marty and Marty.
Well, it's just you and I have a private conversation, Dave.
All right, we'll do. All right, well, I'll give my review of it. I thought the movie was amazing. It was awesome. I mean, it was you put you on the edge of your seat the whole time. You had some great suspense and excitement. The F1 racing. I never really got into that, and now I'm kind of interested to see how it does. I mean, what it does because it's. I never realized, they have like 9 or 10 or 12 races a year, and they go all over the world. I mean, they're in Dubai, they're in Singapore, they're all over the world, including in Las Vegas when they have their big race. They're in Chicago when they have their race, and some of those cities were highlighted in this movie. Just the pure excitement of it. IMAX was good. I don't know. Maybe I got used to seeing things in immersive video on the Vision Pro that I thought might be a better experience, but overall, I thought it was really good. My wife even liked it. I didn't even expect her to like it. She really enjoyed it. Actors were great. Brad Pitt was very good in this movie. I thought he did an amazing job in this movie. It was a good story about these race teams, and I mean, it's a major business. I mean, they say, we got 500 employees that are hired for those teams alone. You can imagine that. And just the skill of what they do, of how to get the cars to where they are as far as the speed and being able to win, the tires, all that stuff. And this is no news. I'm not spoiling anything here because it's just all part of what F1 is. But overall, in my review, I think it was a great movie. It really was good. I'm looking forward to when it comes out on Apple TV Plus. I'm hoping they have some sort of immersive experience when it does over on Vision Pro. But I just wanted to share with the audience my great experience, and I enjoyed it. And Marty, since you're the only other one, what was your thoughts on it?
What I want to echo is something you said about and this is true for me. I don't know diddly squat about F1, but watching the movie, whether it was accurate or not, I learned a lot about F1 that got me really fascinated about that whole sport and how it's managed, and seeing some of the tech that goes into it.
Oh my gosh.
So if you don't know anything about F1 and think you don't care about F1, the sport, go see this movie because it is educative just in that sense. And I know Webb Bixby, who's on Mac Voices, is very much into F1. And he would be able to talk about the accuracy or not accuracy of points in this movie. But I found it entertaining and visually just so appealing, whether it's an IMAX or whether it's an HD or whatever you get to see it in. It still is into the shots and the way they do things. The visual aspect of it is great. So
it was incredible, and it did well. It did well in the theater. They made some good money, and hopefully the rest of the panel here will go see it, or at least they'll be able to see it on Apple TV Plus when it comes out. I'm sure it won't be too far along from now. I know it's not the exact same experience as a theater, but I just wanted to give that out for the audience and look forward to seeing that coming soon to a TV near you, since it's probably near its end in running in the movie theaters. So
when you see it, Eric, let me know. I'll be there.
Yeah. They're not too far away. So couple of things of other topics I wanted to touch on real quick here is this was interesting. This was it's an app called a developer created. It was called Cassette. It brings VHS nostalgia to your iPhone's camera roll. This developer is out with a new app. It was actually a couple days ago released. It's in the App Store today. It's described as a VHS player for your home videos. It's called Cassette. It pulls in videos from your Photos app in your iPhone, then grouping them by year and album and presenting them in a separate VHS tape, as they call it. You can choose to browse through your library of videos manually, or you can tap the Take Me Somewhere button and at the bottom to watch a random year of collection of videos. When you choose a collection of videos, it actually virtually loads the VHS tape into the TV and begins playing videos in your interaction here. So I found this to be fascinating. I didn't have a chance to try it just yet, but I just caught this week. It says you can upgrade it. It does the free version does let you play a video at random, but if you upgrade to 99 cents, it will give you more options it's 99 cents per month or $5.99 per year. There's a one-time lifetime upgrade option of $7.99. That's well worth it. That you can take a look at this. Has anybody checked this out yet? And that's something I want to try out. It's kind of fun.
I think it's fun too. At first I thought, oh, nostalgia. I like, this is cool. And then I thought, that era kind of stunk compared to what we have now. But I'm excited to try it because it just looks like a fun thing. So
I like it.
All I could think of was getting a butter knife and having to kind of turn back the cassette to get it to the point where it had all crinkled up and then flatten that out so you could get it to run again.
Like
it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that access, that availability. I'm
wrapped around the head, the playhead.
Yeah.
And, you got to pull the VCR open and
a whole
pull the tape out.
I want to go back to that day.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I like that they didn't try to make the video crappy.
Right.
Like it's all high quality or as high quality as what's in your library. It's just strung together one after the other. That's perfect. Give the feel without ruining it.
Chuck, go ahead.
I'm kind of with Jill. It sounds great until you stop and really think about it. And I'm not a big nostalgia person anyway, because that's sort of why we moved on, is because it wasn't that good. Or it got better. I mean, that's what we had, so that's what you used. Yeah. But so I look at this and think, great, if that's the way somebody wants to put something like this together, more power to them. I just don't have the time to mess with it. Eric, if I understood the article, I can do that with something like VLC and have have a video playlist that is going to be much more modern and not as clunky as a VHS tape was. So maybe I'm just grumpy, but I just can't get.
I think I would play with it, and then I would say that was funny, and then I would go on.
Yeah.
Time waster.
Another app I found is called Access. It's private vault on this works with not only Mac, it works with iPhone, it works for iPad, it works with Vision Pro. And I found this to be a fascinating app because those of you who use the Apple Passwords app, of course, is going to put things securely in there for your passwords and your passkeys. But the company says on their website that you could save everything else in Access. This includes driver's licenses, credit cards, passports, identities, insurance, secure notes, and basically what it's done is it's kind of an extension of what the password app can do. But granted, if you're a 1Password user like I am, and all of us I believe here are, that already does that for us. But to have something here that kind of extends something if someone doesn't want to do 1Password because they're already used to using the Passwords app from Apple, this is a pretty cool thing, and it's still encrypted. It still uses the advanced data protection from iCloud, and it basically does all the same things that you're already used to in the Passwords app as it is. So it includes autofill, reminders, attachments. I just downloaded this. I haven't had a lot of time to try it out just yet, but I found this to be a pretty fascinating app to see where this goes, and it's not terribly expensive. I believe there is it's free to try, and then there's an in-app purchase that it does give you you can get a yearly for $14.99. You can go a family yearly for $24.99, and then if you wanted to do a lifetime family, it's $89.99. And then you've got also a single individual, which would be at $49.99, and $3.99 and $2.99 for monthly and for family, and monthly for single. Not terribly expensive, but I thought it was kind of cool. What do you think of this, Chuck?
I must sound like a terrible curmudgeon. This is fine. The only thing is I don't know who this organization is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm about to trust them with my most confidential information. I mean, that's where 1Password has earned their stripes.
Sure.
They've been around. They have never, as far as I know, they've never been breached. They have the reputation for keeping your stuff secure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, with 1Password, if you lose your 1Password, they can't help you get it back.
Nope.
So I don't know if this is the same situation with these people. I don't know enough about. I'm going to assume that it's all stored on my Mac, but I didn't download it, so I don't know.
Sure.
So, but every time we bring up a security app, I feel like we need to, do all those caveats of, okay, it's encrypted, but, is it encrypted in transit? Is it encrypted at rest? Who has the keys to the kingdom? Can they help you get it back? Because if they can help you get it back, then that means there's a backdoor in somewhere. So, we're right back to all the usual warnings. Other than that, I love the idea because we all have information that we would rather, in the event our Macs are accessed inadvertently by someone we would rather not have access to that information. I want it to be secure or locked in some fashion.
Yep.
So, take a look at this, check it out, but ask some of those questions first.
Yeah, they got an FAQ on their website, so you can get a lot of information about that. So, it's something to be, tread lightly. I agree. You want to make sure that this is a legitimate, and which it is. It obviously, I'm sure Apple checked it before it went to the App Store. It's exclusive to the Apple, so this is definitely something you want to be very cautious to do with this. Jill, anything you have to add to this?
Well, just on the face of it, I have a friend who has binders of passwords. So everything is on paper, in binders, on cards. And so I'm trying to talk her and her husband into going digital. And they said, well, we won't trust any password app. And I said, but you do already. You already have the Apple Password all these times, and you've been trusting. And if this was a legit thing, which I would wait for, I would buy them the family lifetime access to get them to start digitizing it, because they don't trust 1Password, which is, I don't know, I'm trying to tell her it's the cream of the crop, but it's the best, and she still won't trust it. But I look at the other thing the company makes, and they make some world travel stuff, airport reference list, skincare app, and I thought, why all of a sudden this? And so I am just suspicious of it, but if someone came up with this, it ended up to be great. Everyone says it's great. We tested it. We know what they're doing. I could see myself buying, this for the family plan and getting people into it.
Yeah, it's going to take time
but not now.
Yeah. So you could just play with it, put some, fictitious information to see how it works. And go ahead, Eric.
So for me, I use secure notes in the keychain a lot, and recently discovered that that's no longer supported. And because I was setting up a new machine and saying, "Oh, hey, let me just add a secure note," and then realizing I couldn't do it. Yeah. So to get that functionality back, I'm willing to take a look at this, because then I get secure notes, and I get secure notes that work on the phone and on the computer, which is where I want it to go back and forth. And if it's using the Apple infrastructure to store all this stuff, I'm good with that. And that might just solve my issue.
Yeah. I mean, there's a section here I just noticed on the website. It says security by design, not by promise. And Access is built to make zero compromises on security and privacy. We use the latest Apple technologies to protect your data. We secure on-device storage and support the end-to-end encryption and advanced data protection from iCloud. We do not collect any data, never will. And it goes through, so no third-party code access is built entirely with Swift, and zero third-party libraries or SDKs, no trackers, no analytics, no advertising frameworks ever. And no data is collected. They have the layers of data production. So, I mean, if they're utilizing all of these, I mean, again, I agree. It's still something new. They are saying this on their website, and just proceed with caution. I agree. Yeah. Anything else you want to, Marty, want to add anything to this?
Yeah, I kind of like the app.
Yeah,
cool. And I downloaded it and looked at it. It looks like its framework looks like a reminders app.
Mm-hmm.
And so the input feels very much like using reminders, but it covers a bunch of categories: payment cards, bank account, identity, document, driver's license, passport, which is important, ID card, insurance certificate, medical record, rewards programs, membership, software license, gift card. It also is multi-platform. So it's Mac, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and Apple Vision. So there's something that's very appealing about this. I might tinker with it. I mean, I miss Bento, which was the database app that we used on Macs for a long period of time. Yeah. And then Bento Box came out, and Bento Box is basically a home organizer database. And so I kind of like these individual little database things. 1Password, the interface just does not work for me for documents. It works fine for passwords and such, but this feels much more like a document holder than 1Password does. So I'm fascinated by it. It's cheap too. I mean, relatively cheap compared to
it is.
Those services. So,
yep. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. We'll go on to the news of the week. First story here: Apple Card. It has landed. It lands third in JD Power's user credit card satisfaction ratings. It's dropped 30 points since last year's survey. And this is, of course, issued by Goldman Sachs. And then there's we know some rumors that Chase may be taking this over. We don't know yet. They calculate scores from account management, benefits, customer service, new account, rewards earning, and rewards redeeming and terms. It's compared to last year's study, the satisfaction had dropped quite a bit to this 1 point to 611. JD Power says financially healthy customers saw a 9-point jump, while financially unhealthy customers slipped by 1 point. So overall, citing lower satisfaction with credit limits, account management, and balance transfers. I've had any problems with the credit cards. Anybody else here have a problem?
No,
I'm curious. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, just real quick. I'm kind of not surprised because for a while the Apple savings account through the Apple Card was far and away the leader of easy to access high rates. And in the last 6-8 months, they've kind of come back down and joined the rest of the pack. And so I would think that caused me to rearrange some things, and I would think that may have had some effect on that, because at one point it was just a fantastic way to get an extra few bucks at the end of the month for your savings, and again it just sort of slid away. So I don't know if that's affecting it or not. I have yet to have any issue with my Apple Card.
Same. Marty, Eric, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I was interested in the number 1 and number 2 spot. The number 1 spot, Hilton Honors American Express. Now, I'm an Amex user, and then followed by Costco's Anywhere Visa. But if you look at the scale, it's 1,000 points, and Hilton Honors is 641. Costco Anywhere Visa is 629, and the Apple Card came in at 624. So you're looking at a 17-point range out of 1,000 from top to third.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is not as meaningful.
Yeah, agreed. I have the Costco Visa card. I've had it since its inception when it switched from American Express. And it's a good card. I mean, it does. I've gotten good service out of it and get some really good perks with it. You definitely build up some dollars for your Costco membership, and if you charge enough, it'll pretty much pay for the membership too. So they've got some good perks. But yeah, you're right. The numbers are just too awfully close. That really, does this really matter? Probably not. I mean, there's still a lot of good satisfied customers with them. So next story here. Apple Arcade, the September lineup is going to have NFL football, Jeopardy, and some fan favorite updates. Launching on September 4th is going to be NFL Retro Bowl 26. It debuts exclusively on the Apple Arcade with the championship leaderboard. This NFL and NFLPA licensed title uses authentic rosters and stylized retro visuals while players are playing. That was kind of a fun. That was always a fun game to play back in the day. It'll be kind of fun to see this. Then also it's going to have the Jeopardy Daily, which is going to be returning exclusive clues written by the TV show's writers, and then the players can type in answers and forms of questions and tackle fresh boards every day. So that's going to be kind of a fun thing to see, as well as I don't know if I can tell you, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That's probably for the kids, but there'll be a couple other things coming out. But it's good to see Apple continues on with Apple Arcade. Anybody want to add anything to that?
Still happy with Solitaire.
Yeah, I play Jeopardy on my Switch too, and I'm pretty damn good at it. So I don't think I'm going to get an Apple Arcade. Yeah,
yeah. No, I have it part of my bundle, so it's okay for me. So ESPN and Fox are going to actually offer a bundle with their new streaming services. Both 2 brand new streaming services are about to launch this coming next week. As we record here, ESPN and Fox One both debut on August 21st. And now they're reporting that the ESPN Fox One bundle will be coming with a $39.99 a month subscription price. But if you're into sports or you're a sports fan, you're probably going to want this because of NFL season is coming, because both ESPN and Fox are showing those shows. But there's always going to be ways around that. Hard to say with ESPN because ESPN just made a lot of changes with their things. And it was interesting to see where this goes. Marty, what do you think of this?
I'm not a big, if it's outside of baseball season, I'm going to struggle. I'm not sure I'm ready to sign up for NFL ticket, or I'm ready to sign up for either one of Fox One or ESPN. I get some of the basic ESPN streamed on YouTube, but and I think because of a connection with Disney, I have ESPN Plus or ESPN Thrice or whatever it's called.
Kinda.
But I can't see myself spending more money on this particular streaming service. So
yeah, I don't. I actually decided to go with the NFL Sunday Ticket this year. I've never bought it before, but they had a deal. It was hard to refuse. I think it was like around $250 for the season, which is really not bad if you think about it. Be able to watch all the games, including Red Zone, which I enjoy. And if you're an NFL fan, yeah, it's for you. But if you're not, that's okay too. Chuck, Eric, I don't think you have much on that.
No,
welcome back. Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just my usual kind of evaluation of any of these things. Dave, if $250 is worth it to you to watch football, then by all means go for it. But do a little mental calculation on what you're spending.
I did
to get the best value, whether it's sports, Netflix, Apple TV, any of them. Otherwise, you're just wasting money.
No, I wanted to give it a shot because I was paying for Red Zone, which I enjoyed. For those of you who are not familiar with the NFL Red Zone channel, is it actually just shows the highlights and touchdowns of every single game that's going on Sunday. So it's kind of fun, and exciting to watch. And they do quad boxes, and they do ecto boxes, and shows like 8 games at once as they're in the red zone, and then they're scoring. So that's kind of fun to watch that. But now I can watch the games more. My wife has become kind of a Chiefs fan because of some person called Tay that now she can be able to watch the Chiefs games that easier than if it's not being aired on Fox or CBS or NBC for that matter. Welcome back, Jill. I know you had a bit of a snafu with your router. I'm glad you made it back. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next story here. Netflix just finally rolled out a updated redesign for tvOS for Apple TV 4K users. And we know that's one of the more popular tvOS apps, and it's got a brand new look. And Netflix had previously designed the redesign. Now it's rolling out. This was back in May. They announced some big changes that were coming to the iOS and tvOS apps, which was a good thing to hear. So a lot of what's at here now is it's now discover your next great watch and more easily. You got more visible shortcuts, which I always found it a pain to navigate. Better real-time recommendations, and then it's got elevated design. So I have not looked at it just yet, but good to see that we've now got a better interface. Did you see this yet, Jill?
I didn't, but I'm interested because my friends with the big binders of passwords also are people who have a DVR, and I'm trying to tell them to get rid of the DVR and I bought them an Apple TV. Well, they paid for it, but I bought it for them and set it up. Okay. I said, "This is your DVR now," but because you can keep track of all the shows you're watching on all the services except Netflix,
right?
And they're like, "Well, this doesn't work for us because not everything is here. Netflix is what I watch most on, and it's not here." And I'm hoping this solves the problem.
Yeah. Chuck, anybody else want any thoughts on this?
Jill, do you have to go like in a time machine back to visit these people? Just wondering if there's some technology you use to go back to the 1990s.
I think it's interesting because they call me an early adopter, and I'm not really. I don't have the Vision Pro yet. I'm waiting to see. I'm someone who waits and sees, and they think I'm like out there on the edge of technology, and I'm like, I'm really not. I'm sort of in the middle of it. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, I'm getting them. I'm gonna win this. Their company dropped their landline, and so then they're all mad about it, and so now they had to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's gonna be gone soon enough.
But I'm excited about this. Yeah, this Netflix thing. Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else? All right. And then last story before we get close to wrapping up here. Apple is reportedly going to be adding iPad in-store repairs. And their in-store repairs are going to be back for the first time. And the report claims that by the end of 2025, around 30 Apple stores will be able to carry out certain iPad repairs directly with on-site technicians. The participating stores will be mostly located in the United States. No surprise there. Apple resolves an iPad hardware problem because in Apple stores, it was simply offering a complete replacement of the device. and then offered it with a quote of the maximum out of warranty price. The faulty or broken device would then have to be shipped out for repair. The final invoice is then apparently often revised since the repair subcontractor who only replaces the damaged parts, but accurate picture of the final repair price has not been provided during the customer's first appointment. So they have got to go through a lot of hoops here, and this is good news to know that there's going to be some stores. I would anticipate in the big markets like here for me in Chicago and Los Angeles and New York and other areas would get this, and that's good to know. It's like I didn't realize that they actually were not doing repairs. If I remember correctly, if I had one iPad that failed, I believe they did replace it. So, so anybody have any thoughts on this?
Dave, I distinctly remember taking an iPad to, it was the Fashion Show Mall store in Vegas, and having a repair done. Now, this has been a number of years ago, so sort of like you, I didn't realize that I knew they were, there are only so many repairs they can do because there's so much stock you would have to have in place to do it. But that said, I didn't realize they were doing no iPad repairs in stores.
Yeah.
So
didn't think
it'll be interesting to see how they address that and how long they have to keep it. Because that's a lot of inventory for a lot of different things.
It is. Anybody else want to add anything to this?
I didn't know. They didn't.
Yeah. Go ahead, Marty.
I'm just trying to figure out what is, if this is Apple's a business, what's the financial advantage in now taking on a repair service on site?
Yeah. They do many iPhone repairs on site. So, because that, the iPhone, obviously, they're bread and butter, most popular device and most prone for damage. They do those repairs on site. Every time I've brought one, they've repaired it.
Yeah, my repair on site has always been, here's the refurbished model. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
I'm hoping more people will be able to actually get their iPads repaired, because I know people don't want to take a chance if it could be the higher amount and might be lower. If you can get a more exact quote and say, yeah, okay, that's worth it. They're not always able to just trade it in on a new model.
Right. So that's it for all the stuff we wanted to talk about tonight. But before we go, I want to make sure I mention Mac Stock 9. That was just wrapped up in 2025. I just chatted with Mike Potter. He's feverishly working on getting these videos edited and ready to go. He had some bit of challenges he had to work through, but he's hoping to get a newsletter out very shortly to let everybody know that the videos are going to start rolling out and ready for you to be able to watch. So I highly recommend going to the MacStock website, which is macstockconferenceandexpo.com. Link in the show notes brings you right to the digital pass. Well worth the purchase price. All the great stuff we talked about over this past MacStock back in July. So it's like a distant memory now. I don't want it to be anymore, but this will continue on and be able to go ahead and watch a lot of the great content that we provided during MacStock this year. And again, he already announced it's going to be MacStock 10, our 10th anniversary next year on July 11th, 12th, and 13th. Am I right? Nope. The July 10th, 11th, and 12th in 2026. That's going to be coming next year. So we're going to have so much fun, so much things to plan and have that as well. But meanwhile, relive, if you didn't be able to make it, go to that website, macstockconferenceandexpo.com, and purchase this digital pass. You're going to love it. And everybody here except Eric did speak, so you're going to have, Chuck didn't either, that you'll be able to experience what we did this past MacStock. So come check it out. Appreciate it. With that, let's go ahead and wrap up for this week. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon, which is at intouchwithios. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers to be able to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we are live streaming, which is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thank Brian F. in the chat, Webb Bixby, and a number of others that were there. We interact with you live when you're here watching us live during the recording. We really appreciate you subscribing. And you also can watch the live videos as well as the past live streams and listen to past shows. Visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, where many of the topics we discussed are flipped into that magazine. The link is in our show notes. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, go to our website at intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Blue Sky and Mastodon at DaveG65. And I'm going to mix it up a little bit here. Eric Bolden, thank you so much for being here. Where can people find you?
I can be found on Mastodon at EA Bolden at mas.to. Monday nights on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays on Mac Voices. Thursdays, of course, here on In Touch with iOS, covering all of my OSs throughout the week, so I get my well-rounded week.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for being here, Eric. Chuck Joyner, thank you for being here. As always, we appreciate it. Where can people find you?
MacVoices.com. That's where you'll find everything I'm doing. Lots of interesting interviews with people from around the Apple world, as well as some of the people you see here. We do the live show Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. And on the socials, you can find me as at Chuck Joyner. Thanks, Dave, as always.
Thank you. And you had a great, I just watched the last episode with Lee Garrett for Screencast Online. Great interview. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I've chatted with him a few times. And then Jill McKinley, thank you for being here. Glad you were able to make it back after that router dump.
Yeah, it was very dramatic because it said suddenly the internet went out and it said there's going to be storms in your area in the next 24 hours. And I'm like, now? You mean now? But no, it wasn't any now.
Yeah.
You can find me on YouTube and podcasting, Jill from the North Woods, startwithsmallsteps.com. That's my website. And I do a bunch of different topics of, strangely not tech. So this is my chance to do tech. So I appreciate you letting me do it.
Absolutely. Love having you. I appreciate it. Last but certainly not least, Marty Jencius. Thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
People can find me quietly quitting my full-time job by being on podcasts and making podcasts. This is, I think, my slip into retirement, but you can find me at Jencius, Jencius, at mastodon.social or Jencius at Blue Sky. Monday nights on Vision Profiles with Eric, David, and also Daniel. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming on youtube.com/@Vision Profiles. Tuesdays with In Touch with iOS and the whole gang there. That's a lot of fun. Tuesdays with Mac Voices. Sorry,
I was going to let you
I caught that
there.
nonverbal. Tuesdays with Mac Voices with the whole gang, and that's lots of fun. Wednesdays, I do some other work. And Thursdays here on In Touch with iOS. Find out about the other projects by going to the website, thepodtalk.net is our website for all of the projects I'm involved in, except my job. So.
There you go. Well, thank you for being here. And thank everybody here for listening, for watching, joining us in the chat, and being here. And I really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll be here next week and having another great episode. And until then, thanks again. And we'll talk again soon.